All right, guys, we're going to talk about character perspective. Take that off my ears. What is a character's thoughts? What are they thinking? How do they feel about the situation? So what do they think and how do they feel? Their thoughts and feelings, right? So let's read the story Charlie's Visit. And let's see how see if we can, and you know what? We're going to use different skills today. We're going to use the skill of inferring, right? What I read plus what I know equals what I infer about a character or a setting or anything, right? So let's read about Charlie and his visit and let's see how he thinks and feels about it, okay? All right, so here we go. When Charlie arrived at his grandparents' house, it had its usual smell of mothballs and wet dog. Grandma Helga greeted Charlie with a mean look on her face. Grandpa Fritz said, "Helga, Charlie," as he smoked his pipe. Their red-haired mutt, Rusty, growled and barked at Charlie for hours after he got there. Some welcome. At least I am only staying for the weekend, thought Charlie. So I wonder how Charlie's feeling right now, what his thoughts and feelings about that situation is. Doesn't the author doesn't tell us though how Charlie. It doesn't say Charlie was feeling sad or excited, but I think we can make an inference, right? I'm sure we can. All right, so let's take a look. Let's keep going. On Saturday, Grandma made Charlie hang wet clothes on the clothesline that he could barely reach. Even worse, he had to hang her funny underwear that is supposed to suck in the fat. Then she made him shell peas for dinner until his thumb ached. When his chores were done, he picked up one of her many figurines throughout the house, and Grandma shouted, "Stop being nosy!" Then she sent him outside because she claimed that she needed some peace and quiet. Charlie thought this was odd because he had not spoken much during his stay. On Sunday, Charlie managed to escape the chores. Although friendlier than Grandma, Grandpa Fritz was equally weird. He told Charlie jokes that were lame and kept referring to Charlie's best friend, Samantha, as his girlfriend. Worst of all, Grandpa liked to pull out his false teeth and try to make Charlie laugh. To be nice, Charlie laughed a fake laugh. Unfortunately, Rusty never warmed up to Charlie. However, after a few days, the dog was content to use Charlie's shoes as chew toys rather than growl at him. When Charlie's mom picked him up on Sunday night, he had never been so happy in his life. During the ride home, he asked, "Mom, how did you turn out so normal?" All right, so what were Charlie's thoughts and feelings on the situation? What were his thoughts and feelings? How did he feel about it? This is going to be a situation, guys, where you're going to have to make an inference, okay? So, why don't we do this really quick? Follow me. I'm going to set up a page. We're going to set up a page, and I think you know how to do this. So, right now, get out your reading workshop notebooks, and we're going to set up the page, and you're going to follow along with me. All right? So here we go. We're going to get right to it. All right, so here's a fresh page. Let's keep that down. View. All right. So on this page, we're going to set this up. First and foremost, Bobby and Richard, you guys are going to put your name and date at the top. Okay. Put the date, which is 2/2/21. Lots of 2's in the date today. Let's set one of these up. Let's do two straight lines down. And we're gonna say what did I read? What I read plus what I know equals what I infer. Okay? So, Now that we have that set up, you can pause your screen and get that done. We'll go back to the Google form, and it asks us a couple questions. It says, how does Grandma Helga benefit from Charlie's visit? Now, I know for a fact that the story doesn't say Grandma Helga benefited from Charlie's visit because, but I bet you can make an inference, right? You read some things and you can think to yourself, well, geez, how? So you can start out by writing down what you infer. That's going to be the answer to that question. And why don't you actually do this? There's 3 questions on here, and you're going to infer for each one of them. 1, 2, and 3. All right, and we're going to make inferences on the character's perspective. And what is their character's perspective? You guys can write this down too. You can say it's their thoughts, how a character's thinking, and feelings equals perspective. Right? All right. So that was the first question. Let's look at the next one. The next question is, at the end of the story, why does Charlie ask his mom how she turned out so normal? I know this. The story doesn't tell us that. It does not come out and say that's why he asked that question. We have to infer, right? And number 3, the dog, Rusty, is most like who? Is it Grandma Helga, Charlie, Grandpa Fritz, or Charlie's mom? All right. So you're going to use this, what I read plus what I know equals what I infer, to figure out what the character's perspective is. And in order to get a character's thoughts and feelings, you have to read about what they do, what actions they do, what things that the characters say, right? And their experiences. What is happening to the characters, right? And then you make your inference, and you'll know all about your characters. Okay. Good luck, you guys. Tara, out.